gonna stand by you.
So I just finished filming a video on things to expect if you're wanting to get an Australian Shepherd. I'm going to link that down below and probably at the end of this video if you're interested in getting a dog like the dog that I own, my Australian Shepherd, Aspen. But this video is going to be a little bit more general. It's going to be geared towards people that are thinking about just getting a dog. So these are the things that you need to know before getting a dog. All right. So first things first, let's talk about time commitment. For me, I am not a fan of jumping into getting an animal if you're not willing to commit to that animal for its entire lifespan. Getting a dog is a lifelong commitment for that dog. And dogs can live from 10 to 15 years. It really depends on the breed that you get. And just making sure that if you're looking at getting a dog, that you have that time commitment, that you are committed to taking care of that animal for the rest of its life is very important. So the next thing is looking at your lifestyle and figuring out what size of dog is something that you could handle. So if you've got a huge farm, I mean, obviously you really kind of have your pick. I mean, you can get a big dog, you can get a small dog, it really doesn't matter, you got the space. But if you live in an apartment, you might want to think about something that's a bit smaller or that doesn't have a lot of energy requirements. So the next thing is costs. Now, dogs are going to cost a lot of money. They cost money for their food, they cost money for potential grooming costs, and they're going to cost money when it comes to veterinary bills, especially with the first few years of their life and the last years of their life. Those are kind of where the costs are going to accumulate. In the middle there, you're probably not going to have as many costs, but there's still going to be costs. So just to give you an example, Aspen's food, my dog, costs between $50 and $60 a month. So you really do have to expect to spend between, I would say, $1,500 and $3,000 per year on your dog for food costs, vet costs, and miscellaneous costs. So making sure that you can actually afford a dog is something that's really important. You don't want to get a dog if you can't afford to take care of it in the first place. So the next thing is energy requirements. Now, I feel like one of the best things to do in a situation like this, and I said it in my previous video, is look at your top 5 hobbies. Now, the top 5 things that you like to do are going to be something that you can look at to figure out what breed of dog is going to be right for you. So if you are thinking about your top 5 hobbies and you say, okay, I really love snowboarding in the winter, I really love hiking in the summertime, going to the lake and canoeing, doing all sorts of outdoor activities, something like an Australian Shepherd or a really high energy breed is going to be really good for you, a really great fit and a companion for all of those things that you like to do. Now, if you're the type of person where you said, well, my favorite thing is just coming home, laying down, watching movies, and just relaxing in my home, then you might want a breed that's a little bit more chilled out, something that really enjoys laying around and just being loved and cuddled, right? So keep your hobbies in mind, and that will kind of guide you towards the right breed of dog. Now, the next thing, and I did already mention it, but you want to keep it in mind, is grooming and what you want to do for grooming. So there is the potential of grooming at home or taking your dog to a groomer's with double-coated breeds like Australian Shepherds or breeds that have excessive amount of hair, so like poodles or Shih Tzus, stuff like that. You're going to either have to learn how to breed at home, So you're going to have to either groom at home, learn how to groom, and buy all of the tools required to groom, or you're going to have to take them to groomers. And usually, at least when I worked at a grooming salon, we recommended between 4 to 6 weeks between grooms. So just keep that in mind because that can be a cost that really does accumulate. So the next thing is kind of related to time, and it has to do with how long it's going to take for you to train your dog, certain challenges that you're going to face with a dog. Depending on the breed of dog, you do need to commit a certain amount of time to training them, and that's going to take a lot of your time at home. If you work during the day, it's going to take up a lot of time when you get back in the evening, and some dogs take up to 2 years to fully train. So selecting your breed is really important because it is going to dictate the amount of time that you spend training, the amount of time that you spend grooming, the costs associated with the dog. Smaller dogs are going to eat less than larger dogs, right? And you just have to really do your research on that breed and figure out if it's a good fit. So you've looked at the time requirements of a dog, you've looked at the costs associated with a dog, and you think that you can handle those. You've committed to taking care of a dog for its entire lifespan, and you feel like your family or your lifestyle is at a specific time where it would be a good fit to bring a new family member into the house. That's perfect, and that's when you want to go and get your dog. And there's 2 different ways of getting dogs, of course. You can go to shelters and get a shelter dog, and it's actually very possible to find purebred dogs in shelters if that's something that you're looking for. And it is possible too to get dogs that aren't necessarily in the puppy stage if you want to kind of avoid some of that. In shelters, that's a really great option. The other option is also to go with breeders, but you always want to make sure that your breeder it's a good breeder. So do your research, figure out what health concerns are in that breed, make sure that your breeder is checking their animals for those health concerns and aren't breeding dogs irresponsibly, and that's how you find a really good puppy too. So best of luck to you guys, any of you that are looking at getting a dog. I think it is probably one of the best decisions that you can ever make in your life. And I would love it if you comment down below if you're getting a new dog, if you're getting a certain breed of dog. I'd love to know that. And if you have any further things to add to this video too to help other people out, please let them know in the comments down below. And I just hope that you found this video helpful in some way, and I will see you guys in another one very soon. All right, take care. Bye.